Did you sort out your Facebook issue, Girish?
What did you say?
Could you sort out your Facebook
No.
issue?
Yeah, still my team is taking care of it.
Oh,
Or if it doesn't happen, then we will delete and finished.
yeah.
You see, our perception is polluted. Our perception, the way we see the world, is so much polluted. John says that, oh, Sophie is my honey. The mosquito does not recognize it. Look at this. Mosquito or any other living being except the human being. Our perception about the world, of the people, of things. Ah, I have such a big house, but the house does not say, yes, I'm big. So I give a label to the house, I give a label to my beauty, I give a label to who gives this label? Who gives this label? This is the I-ness gives the label. And once you give a label, we have a possessive attitude, whether in negative or positive. And once we have a possessive attitude, then we enter into the kind of a selfishness. And once we enter into the selfishness, this ego continues to continues to create crazy thoughts. And to see the another fact, naked fact, in deep sleep, we are neither big nor small. We are not honey. We are not related to anyone. We are not at all related to anyone in deep sleep. And in dream, the dreamer is different. The dream body is different. I keep lying down on the bed and I see the virtual body is moving, is scared, in reaction, anxiety. Our perception in the dream is different, with a different dreamer, with a different dream body, based on based on our past impressions. And then we return to the waking state with all the labels, all our perception. We never check our perception, whether this perception is right or wrong. We move mechanically, habitually, instinctively. And when we have that impulsive nature, we create a possessive attitude, not a giving attitude. Not a giving attitude. And that possessive attitude creates not only internal conflicts in our mind, it creates a duality, it creates an anxiety, it creates a reaction. So the charity says, principle of charity is to change that inner mental state, attitude, and willingness to be the part of our existence. So that I experience, oh, let me be the part of the entire existence rather than I go by my perception. My perception always remains a bit selfish, possessive attitude, reactive attitude. If you fulfill my expectations, then I'm okay with you. And if you don't fulfill my expectations, then I'm not okay. So charity here means we have to understand qualitatively the charity is inner mental state and attitude. Whether we offer $1 or $1,000, but with the proper and the right attitude of the mind, with humility, will change our perception. And once we change our perception, I can bet you that 99% of our worries, fear, anxiety, duality will also drop. That is what our masters are talking about charity. It is quality, it is not the quantity. So, in a way, the charity gives a great blow to our ego and selfishness, our craving and obsession. It hits very hard. No, no, I don't want to leave the small thing I have been using for 2 years. It is lying in the garage, but I'm not using it. And it's, no, 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 I will use it in future. So charity gives a great blow to our ego, the selfishness, craving, and the obsession. It hammers the delusion of the mind, changes our attitude and the state of the mind. It is not a question that I need to be a Bill Gates to offer the charity. It is the quality. We have a physical level of charity, we have emotional level of charity, we have intellectual level of charity, we have spiritual level of charity. Forget about that I have some responsibility towards the society. No, I have bigger responsibility towards myself. Can I change my attitude? Normally, charity is related in the modern world with reference to, oh, Bill Gates, so much money you have earned, so hence you have a responsibility towards the society. No, everyone has a responsibility towards the society. Why only Bill Gates? We are also living in the same society. That needs to be, I have to change my attitude. So, what happens when you change your attitude? Days, weeks, and months passes, and one day you recognize your giving nature is profiting you, is keeping you calm and relaxed, free from the fear and duality. That is the result of this charity. Another, I don't know what is. So, so charity helps you an attitude of detachment from the ego, from the I-ness. That is the first thing that we need to understand clearly. It cultivates a sense of non attachment. Remember, you love your honey so much, but internally you don't have an attitude of the charity. You will end up having a conflict with your honey. Internally, it is because of that attitude. So it destroys your relationship also. So ultimately, what happens, the charity also cultivates an attitude of non attachment. Non attachment. Because it cultivates the non attachment, because it hammers our delusion and ego, it purifies the mind. Ultimately, this is the second conventional method for the purification of the mind. Our great master, the originator of yoga, meditation, Eastern wisdom, is Lord Krishna. We normally use the word Lord for his the originator. He says that you can offer, you can pluck the leaves from a plant and you can offer, but your attitude should be right. And that also will be granted as charity. He's not saying that you have to offer a specific 1% or 2%. Normally, in different religious tradition, they push you. Oh, you are a Christian. You have to how much? 2% in some uh, different religions. No, we don't say that. Eastern wisdom is not interested in that. Eastern wisdom interested in changing your attitude. Can you move with a humility, even plucking the leaves and offering it to with a sense of humility, with a sense of givingness? Is that enough? Yes. So basic focus is for purification of the mind. And when you purify the mind, you have a sense of empathy and compassion all the time, all the time. Otherwise, we will move into the idea of a selfish. If you are selfish, then I'm also selfish. So two selfish people interact with each other. So ultimately, there will be a conflict. Internally, emotional conflict, mental conflict, either in the family or outside. It has to be there. It has to be there. So you see that when you change that inner attitude and selfishness drops, ego drops, empathy and compassion takes over your mind, then we can become a seeker. And the seeker always follows the dharma. Again, there's a peculiar word in Eastern wisdom. Dharma is literally translated as religion. In the Western world, dharma is not religion at all. Dharma simply means what holds you. Or another definition of dharma is that what is right and good for everyone. Let me follow that. Kindness, compassion, caring, giving. And that attitude, so ultimately, because of the purification of the mind, you have a right thought, you have a right speech, you have a right action. With whom? With your members of the family, with strangers outside, in a professional level, and ultimately, what happens? Your life becomes beautiful. Where is that beauty? Is the purity of the mind. Not only that benefit, but more benefit. Now you are working and you earn more money. So you transcend the material achievement. You don't become egoistic, even if you have a lot of money. Or you don't have money, so you don't have a definition of poor and the rich. Again, attitude. Attitude of the mind does not fall into the grip of material achievement and desires. It's a great achievement in our modern life, my friends. You get rid of those anxiety and conflict and duality. Otherwise, we keep saying, oh, he has this car, I have this car, he has this house. You see, attitude. I. So he has this house and I have this house. So the sense of possessiveness is already there. And you have lost the idea of a charity. So now understand clearly four domains of the charity. One is the physical domain, articles, things, money, wealth we can offer into. We can also offer our time and energy. Time and energy. Well, that is what the physical, we offer the physical wealth as a charity. That is our physical domain. Then there is the emotional wealth. What I'm doing, emotional wealth. I'm sharing that emotional wealth and the intellectual wealth. Knowledge. And knowledge is considered the greatest charity in the Eastern wisdom. Knowledge, not knowledge of physics and chemistry, knowledge of Eastern wisdom, knowledge of self-discovery. There are many types of knowledge. So knowledge of self-discovery is considered the highest charity. So you have emotional wealth, kindness, and compassion. You are not sympathetic, but you are empathy, care, support, gratitude, and forgiveness. You keep that attitude always ready for it. Always ready. So that is what the emotional wealth. Emotional wealth is much better than, greater than the physical wealth. Intellectual wealth, knowledge and the skills is also considered. I told you, I told my son that you have to, whatever you know. During COVID, he earned, I was telling Anne in those days, he earned 16 certifications for 3 years. Different certifications in computer and security and AI, etc., etc. So I said, you should be ready to give this knowledge to anyone who is, whether who is senior or junior. Keep that attitude. And when I explained the concept, and he was always ready to give it. So there is a different recognition in the corporate. Intellectual wealth. And that is what our scientists and technocrats are doing. They creativity and innovation. Look around you. Phone, refrigerator, internet, intellectual wealth. The last one, not the least, is the spiritual wealth, is considered also the greatest. You offer the peace and the joy. You help people to calm down rather than getting irritated. How you irritate people? Because of your ego and selfishness. There is no other reason. There is no other reason. Find out. You have certain expectations from the other person. These expectations are not met. It is your selfish nature. And oh, why don't you remain calm and relax? Okay. The guy is not understanding. It's better to keep a distance. So you radiate the inner contentment and happiness, creating a positive and uplifting environment for others. That is the greatest charity one can offer, humility and selflessness. We recognize there is an interconnectedness between me, for this example, for me and you all. You have not committed to the Eastern wisdom much before I committed. That is the only difference. Otherwise, there is no difference. Knowledge is not. Once you get that knowledge, you start applying, you find the changes, you reach to the same state. My master says, you articulate these principles in such a way so that it is easily digested and assimilated. What is going to happen to you? You will increase your level of awareness. So, when we say the self knowledge or knowledge of the Eastern wisdom has to be given. Don't give to your, don't give to people, who are not ready. But you have to apply. How you give, you start applying these principles in your daily life, in your relationship first, and see the result. So you set an example in your life. And when you set an example, you exert an influence. And when you exert an influence, then yes, you can talk about those principles, but don't start talking directly, oh, I know all these principles, I will teach you. It will not work. It will not work. Let us understand little bit about our, and then we will go for the practice. The traditional wisdom, long back, I told you it is a 10,000 years old tradition. So, mm, what what kind of a charity has been practiced in ancient times? So we can get some idea from there. So there are many types of charity offered in the traditional wisdom. One is, we already know, the physical one, the monetary donations, etc. Physical activities. No, I will do work for you. Home and possessions. Some people build the houses, donating the physical assets. Sharing one's expertise, we have already covered. Extending compassion and empathy, we have already covered. And then gratitude, peace, and the joy. So there are other forms of charity that uh, there is a there is a particular verse, but let me translate that verse. So one is the Bhumi Dan. So Bhumi Dan in Sanskrit means land donation. I remember a great master in earlier, after the independence of India. There is a master who is known as by the name Vinoba Bhave. So first he donated his house, his all the acquisitions, and then he started living in the monastery. He reached to a higher state, and then he declared that I will beg a piece of land from Indian people who are rich and who possess lot of land. In 50s and 60s, he got more than 5,000 acres of land in donation. Vinoba Bhave is a great teacher. And then he donated that land to the people who are needy. He just organized those. So that is an ancient concept. Oh, you donate a land to me because you own too much of land. The cows were considered as a treasures, as a wealth in ancient India. So sometimes you, in traditional wisdom, so cows, you donate the cows. Now see, don't feel upset, especially there are four ladies, beautiful women, only two are odd man here. So the charity of a daughter, but don't undermine it. So fathers who marries their daughter to a person, they with compassion, I'm giving this daughter to you so that you can take care of it. So that is also, even now, the traditional wisdom, when we marry, the parents, they offer the daughter as a charity. So why? Because this will build your family so that you can live in peace and happiness. So it's in a very positive sense, not in a. There is another charity, one guy, recently, he is an IT professional. There is a Jainism tradition. Those traditions, they pop up sometime in India also in a different way. So he earned a lot of money, almost a couple of 100 millions. So after that, he got frustrated with the computer and cyber security, etc., and he bought gold weighing his body, and he donated it. That is also a traditional wisdom of donating the amount of the gold equal to the weight of your body. And then he became a monk. And the knowledge donation we have already done. Yes, there is another way that let me have a sense of and gratitude and a compassion. Say you have one on a given day you are frustrated, you have a lot of anxiety. So in a traditional wisdom we say you light the candle and internal praise should be there that let the light of the candle take away and dispel this anxiety and the frustration. So you can do it in your house. Well, just all focused on attitude, emotion, attitude. Then food donation, we already know. Medicine donation, it's very much famous. Knowledge donation, yes. Then there is another donation that you protect other people from their fears and anxiety. That is another way to donate. So I have concluded this topic of the charity. We have concluded two conventional methods of purification of the mind. So we will take up the next one. Next week, close your eyes, place, position, and posture. Place of the body. Place of the body. Body, place. Become aware of the space all around your body and awareness of the body, awareness of the space all around the body, awareness of the position of the body. Find out if any position of the body is disturbing you, adjust and align so you have a right posture. Don't give undue pressure on any part of the body. Keep it easy. And that will help us to move to being comfortable. Being comfortable. Again, I've been telling you, you have to be very subtle with awareness and attention. Being comfortable is nothing but to change the direction of the mind. Mind is scattered in millions of directions outside. And when you look at the neck joint, you have suddenly changed the direction of the mind. Not from the world outside, but looking inside. So you look at the neck joint, you go deeper into the neck joint and experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. And now we have been practicing for long. It should not take a lot of time. Switch on and switch off. Switch off the mind to the world. Switch on to our internal journey is being comfortable. Looking at the entire body from the top of the head to the toes, looking inside the body. Why? To understand that the mind has changed the direction and experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. So we will start. We'll not spend too much of time in being comfortable and being carefree. From after few more sessions, I will simply say being comfortable and you just follow because you remember it is the change of direction, being carefree. I gave you a very clear understanding. Another way, very simple, you look inside the forehead in the space. Space is like the sky where the birds are flying, nothing disturbed. Sky is not disturbed. Sky does not fragment, change. Same way that space does not change. On that space, you have undesirable, unwelcome thought, feeling, emotions are coming and going. So you are aware, space is there, thoughts are coming and going. It is like the highways, the traffic is moving. Even if you have a traffic jam, the space does not change. Even if you have millions of the birds flying in the sky does not change. Through a metaphor, we understand being carefree. So we are comfortable, we are carefree. Asato ma satagamaya. That is the right time to introduce the mind to change the perception. So your commitment by understanding reveals at this moment. So what do you asatoma satagamaya? I will move from the false to the real perception or knowledge. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya. Moving from ignore. How I move from the false to the real, I will understand, contemplate, and reflect. So from reflection, I understand it becomes very clear for me what is false and real, and that knowledge translates into wisdom. And the wisdom is nothing but a higher level of awareness. So we have done this is the stage one of the journey. And now look inside the forehead in the space where the undesirable, unwelcome thoughts were coming. You replace it by mentally, gently chanting Shantoham. Mentally, you're doing, not with the movement of the lips and the tongue. Shantoham, Shantoham. So your focus is inside the forehead in the space. Keep the body in a state of stillness and start breathing. Quick and short breath through both the nostrils. Both the nostrils. As if you are enjoying the breathing. Yes, the impure mind will say, I'm not enjoying. So you have to endure it. Your intellect should say, yes, by doing this step continuously, it will release unwanted, unnecessary thoughts. Continue. Just continue breathing. Well, your mind objects to it, then your intellect is there. Endurance lives in the intellect. How you can awaken to the intellect? How can you can awaken to the endurance? The intellect says, no, you have to do it. Mind, please do it. It will change you. So that is the level of endurance we have to develop. And from there, oh, the time comes, you have a joy of doing the breathing every time, all the time, anytime. And then you will recognize the importance of the breathing, the dropping the mantra, and the state of the stillness in the body to purify the mind. Continue, my friends. Continue. Continue. You will have variety of experiences of tingling and the numbness, as if your mind has entered into a kind of the blankness. It's okay. It's a part of the journey. We acknowledge it and continue the journey. You need not to worry. There is no harm in it. Now leave the step and look at the skin of the entire body from the top of the head to the toes and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind on the skin of the body, but your mind wants to go inside. Look inside the body. Explore the sensations inside the head and the neck, inside the heart, right arm, left arm, right leg, left leg. You have a sensation on the skin. It's okay, but we explore. Exploring means what? You become aware of the sensation inside the body. But why we do it? We know we are living within. And that sensation is a state of the calmness, and also become aware of the space inside the body. And that space represents the state of quietness. Check, experience relaxation, stillness, calmness, quietness, independent of any object outside, of any situation outside. That is the meaning the mind is living within. That is very important in meditation. What is the meaning of living within? It is a rise in consciousness. You are not living within the body. It is a rise in consciousness, my friend. Now, in that state, you look at the breath going in, drop Shantoham mentally, and maintain awareness of the space. When the breath comes out, you drop Shantoham, and as the breath merges into the infinite space, become aware of the infinite space outside, inside. With every time you drop the mantra during incoming and the outgoing breaths. During the journey, if the mind moves the body, it means mind wants to come out. Or if you are able to maintain the state of the stillness in the body, you're not enforcing, you experience the stillness in the body, not off the body. that would be definitely a deeper state. Mind is distracted, no worries. Remember, remind, recognize, and Shantu Ham inside space, Shantu Ham space outside. Recognize the laziness or the sleepiness or dozing off. When you recognize it, how do you recognize you experience that? Dozing off, you simply, your intellect says, oh, I'm dozing off. That's all, and wait. It will go away. Try this. When you do the practice regularly, the last step you extend it for another 10 to 15 minutes this week to see what happens. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your Buddha palms, place it in your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. Know your experiences. We'll share our experiences now. How are you, Sophie?
I'm very good. Thank you, Girish. I felt I was not in contact with my body anymore.
Good.
Yeah.
Totally good. How are you, Charlie?
Hello, Girish. I felt alert and calm,
Alert and calm?
very present.
Very present. That is really good. That is alert, calmness, and present is one of the greatest result of the meditation. How are you, Mead?
I feel very calm and peaceful, like I dropped into my body and myself.
Very good. That's really good. How are you, Anne?
Yeah, I feel very good. At one point, something like some nervousness came up, and I examined myself and I thought, there is no reason for me to be nervous.
Yes,
I
you did the right thing.
I chased it away, so to speak.
Yes, it is the same intellect that perceives in the waking state, but the intellect is absent in the sleep state. So there is no anxiety, there is no nervousness in a deep sleep state. So that intellect has to be put into this service, not the impulsive mind. There's a difference between the two. Beautiful. How are you, John?
Hey, Girish, I'm fine. I continue to be astonished by how quickly this all goes.
Oh, that's really good. It means that's a deeper practice.
Oh.
How faster you did the practice. Yeah. Yeah. And then you might be feeling calm and relaxed.
Right.
Yes. Don't worry. We will do more than 2 hours of meditation. That is all for today. Thank you. We will meet again next week.
Okay.